For years, the Beckham family sold an image of polished, unbreakable unity. They were the gold standard of celebrity dynasties, powerful, glamorous, and always together. But that picture has shattered in the most public way possible. At the center of this explosion is Brooklyn Beckham, his wife Nicola Peltz, and her billionaire father, Nicola Peltz. What started as quiet tension has evolved into an all-out family war, complete with legal threats, severed communication, and a line that may never be uncrossed. The question hanging over this saga is simple yet disturbing: is Brooklyn acting independently, or has he been fully absorbed into the Peltz orbit? Behind the Instagram posts and emotional declarations lies a much deeper power struggle, and the casualties are mounting. The public betrayal. The breaking point came when Brooklyn did the unthinkable: he publicly turned on his parents. In a lengthy, emotional statement, he accused David and Victoria of controlling narratives, prioritizing their brand Beckham over family, and repeatedly disrespecting his wife. There was no room for interpretation. Brooklyn made it clear he was choosing Nicola, and he had no interest in reconciliation. What shocked observers wasn't just the accusations, but the finality of them. There was no olive branch, no "we're working on it." It was a clean, cold break. According to insiders at Prestige Buzz, this didn't happen in a vacuum. Days before the post, David and Victoria reportedly sent a private, emotional letter to their son. They didn't use social media or intermediaries, they reached out directly, desperate for a sign that he was okay. Instead of a reply, they received a legal wall. Brooklyn had allegedly issued a cease and desist notice, demanding his parents stop mentioning him and instructing them to communicate only through lawyers. The Beckhams were stunned, but more importantly, they were terrified. They suspected these legal maneuvers didn't originate with Brooklyn, but were heavily influenced by Nicola and her father. A choice between two worlds. Brooklyn insists he is finally standing up for himself, claiming his parents controlled him for most of his life. However, public perception is split. While Brooklyn claims freedom, every move he's made since cutting ties has aligned him more closely with the Peltz family. He lives in their world, socializes in their circle, and follows their rules. If there is one event that symbolizes this fracture, it's the wedding, specifically the infamous first dance. Brooklyn claims Victoria hijacked the moment, leaving Nicola in tears and him humiliated. Witnesses say the energy shifted instantly. What should have been a bonding moment turned into a lasting wound. Following the ceremony, reports suggest Nicola made her position crystal clear: Brooklyn couldn't have both his wife and his mother in his life. Brooklyn chose Nicola. Since then, invitations have been refused, and family events missed. Nicola remains firm, reportedly unwilling to attend any gathering where David and Victoria are present. If you're finding this deep dive into the Beckham-Peltz feud fascinating, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Prestige Buzz. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never miss an update on the world's most powerful families. The shadow of Nicola Peltz. While Nicola takes center stage, the most powerful figure in this story rarely speaks. Nicola Peltz is a billionaire investor and a corporate heavyweight accustomed to structure and leverage. Reports suggest he has never been particularly impressed with his son-in-law. From photography to cooking, Nicola reportedly views Brooklyn's career pivots as unfocused and unserious. When a man worth billions is skeptical of you, it matters, especially when he controls the ecosystem you now live in. This dependency is what haunts David and Victoria. Before the wedding, a strict prenuptial agreement was signed. Brooklyn has no access to the Peltz fortune. If the marriage ends, he leaves with nothing but what the couple built together. The Beckhams fear that by cutting off his own family, Brooklyn has discarded his only safety net. If he loses Nicola, he loses everything. The cost of isolation. The narrative becomes truly uncomfortable when you look at the imbalance of power. Nicola didn't leave her world to join Brooklyn's, Brooklyn left his to join hers. She kept her support system, her family, and her financial independence. Brooklyn, meanwhile, has distanced himself from the structure he grew up in, tying his entire emotional future to the Peltz household. Even voices from Brooklyn's past are speaking out. A former youth coach described a childhood for Brooklyn that was shaped by anxiety and permanent security, a life that made him vulnerable to influence. He suggests that for Brooklyn, walking away might have felt like the only way to survive. Yet, a glaring question remains: if the Beckham household was truly as controlling as Brooklyn claims, why are his siblings still there? Romeo, Cruz, and Harper continue to support their parents and live independent lives without severing ties. This suggests the issue might not be the Beckham family system, but the specific dynamic between Brooklyn and his new in-laws. Is there a way back? For now, the Beckham family exists in two separate realities. One moves forward together, the other stands firmly apart. David and Victoria have made it clear, the door is always open, no apologies required. But Brooklyn remains steadfast, insisting he has no regrets. As this feud hardens into a permanent fixture of celebrity lore, the structural divide remains. This isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about two different value systems clashing over one young man. If Brooklyn ever decides he wants to go home, would he even be allowed to? Or has the Peltz orbit become a gravity well from which there is no escape? One thing is certain, Brooklyn Beckham's life has fundamentally changed, and in this war of billionaires and brands, there may be no such thing as a clean break. What do you think? Is Brooklyn finally finding his voice, or is he being manipulated away from those who love him most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For more exclusive insights into the lives of the elite, keep it locked right here on Prestige Buzz.